This is scary.
Good evening. I'm Michael Bartley. Welcome to our WQED studios here in Oakland for this unprecedented program. Local broadcasters coming together, putting our competition aside for this special one-hour Pittsburgh Responds Telethon. We've come together as one group to raise money for those devastated by the tsunami in South Asia. Phones are ringing already.
That's right, Michael. Hello, I'm Chris Moore. We are live at the WQED studios right here where Michael and I make our home for the next hour with your favorite news anchors from WTAE, WPXI, WPGH, and KDKA.
I can hardly hear you with these phones going
They're
already.
ringing already.
And with the help of the American Red Cross, we are hoping to generate a lot of money to help the victims of the tsunami disaster.
And you know what? You can hear it now. Oh my gosh, the phones are already ringing. You can do your part right now by calling in a donation to the American Red Cross. Here's a phone number: 1-888-786-2640. Now, they'll accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, Diners Card, a personal check, or a money order, whatever you can afford and whatever way you could do it.
And they want to talk to you now. Pittsburghers are known for their passion and generosity in times of trouble. And so many people have asked us, how can we help? Well, right now this is your opportunity. So please pick up the phone and call the number you see on your screen, 1-888-786-2640.
And calling that number is the first step. At that point, you will be directed by one of our volunteers on actually how to donate.
And we want to say from the outset here, every one of us here tonight knows just how difficult these past few months have been for so many people here in Pittsburgh, going back to September with the flooding and then the flooding just this past week. But we also know that Pittsburgh has a huge heart, and what the people in South Asia are dealing with truly requires a worldwide response. So we're here to prove tonight that despite our own struggles here in Pittsburgh, and maybe even because of them, because they've made us more compassionate,
more aware,
we're going to show that Pittsburgh is up to this challenge. So help us prove that tonight.
It's getting noisy in here. You may get a chance tonight to talk to a Steeler or perhaps one of your favorite reporters. We have one right here, Shannon Prine. You may recognize her from WTAE TV, and we're going to interrupt her phone call for a moment. Sorry to do that to the person on the phone. Shannon, there are a number of ways you could have spent your Friday night. Why be here tonight volunteering to answer the phone?
You know, Sheila, this is 1 hour of my day, of my week. This is a very tiny sacrifice for me to make. Besides, it's a lot of fun for us to come in here and see people we don't see all the time. And there's just so much need, and the need is now. And this is a great way for people to react and respond immediately. And they know that their donations are going immediately to supplies and technical support of those really in the trouble zone right now.
And you've already gotten a couple of phone calls, I understand?
I've gotten two. The very first call was from Barbara, $200. And I'm on the phone right now with a woman who's pledging $100.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you whoever is on the phone for $100. And thank you so much, Shannon, for giving up your time here tonight. Katie?
That's right. Shannon is right. This is a really unique situation that we're in today. I mean, here I am interviewing fellow reporters that I'm usually on the street with, which is kind of an odd situation. I'm going to interrupt Tonya Caruso right now of WQED. Tonya, as we were talking to Shannon, you're here tonight, and apparently this is a very important cause. Why be here tonight?
Hello, sir. Actually, as you said, I'm on the phone right now taking a pledge. Very important call. Want to let people know that actually the phones began ringing before we even went on the
You had the first call.
I had the first call. The first call was Diane Pritchard from Brookline, and she pledged $25. I'm on the phone right now with the gentleman who is pledging $100. And so it's just great to see so many people calling, and so many people calling in amazed. When the phone started ringing, we actually thought, oh, that's a mistake. They're testing the phones. It was great that there were people on right.
Thank you, Tony. You know what? It doesn't really matter how much you contribute. Every little bit counts. Just for one example, the Red Cross sends out a family comfort kit, and those are about $80 a piece. But when you send one of those things, you're sending straw mats, you're sending plastic, you're sending hygiene items that those families need. These are crucial things in order for them to survive. So make the call, 1-888-786-2640, and let's throw it to Peggy. Peggy?
All right, thank you, Katie and Sheila. It is just so hard to imagine, isn't it, David, the scope of that tsunami destruction. You see those pictures, and yet it's really hard to fathom. They're now saying that the number of dead has risen to almost 160,000, and more than 5 million people are homeless. It's so hard to get your mind around that, and the World Health Organization is saying 150,000 more could die if medical supplies don't get there and there's an outbreak of disease.
It's staggering. It's really hard to imagine in all the tsunami devastated regions. When you hear all of this, they need a lot of money. $1 billion right now to provide food and shelter. In Pittsburgh, we know how generous you are. Now you might be wondering, what is my $2, my $5, whatever buys you? Let's take a look. Look at the screen right now and you'll see what it buys. $2 buys a sleeping bag. $5 buys a mosquito net. $15 for a kitchen set for a family of 5. That's pretty good. $175 buys a waterproof tent for a family of 5. So you can see, Peggy, we want you to give there at home as much as you possibly can. But no matter what you give, we are so appreciative. And you can see just from that full screen graphic right there, it buys a lot.
It sure does. And these people have really lost everything. We don't want them to also lose hope. All right, let's go over now to Sally and Patrice.
Peggy, I know that you will not be surprised at all by the generosity of Pittsburghers. And Sally, we were talking just a moment ago, just even as the show opened, the phones began to ring. The generosity of Pittsburghers never fails to
I mean, the tears spring to your eyes when you hear this. It's amazing. And it's quite amazing what Giant Eagle has done. I'm with Rob Barella from Giant Eagle, the Director of Corporate Communications and Sports Marketing. $25,000, Patrice. What motivated Giant Eagle to do this? Everybody has a reason, and some of them are different.
Sally, this is such a tragedy, and our customers ask us, how can we, together as a community, help? So in addition to this $25,000 check that we're going to be donating tonight, we're also, starting Sunday, going to be doing a customer donation at the checkout.
Let me see if I can hold that. Can we hold that up with the camera? That's it?
And we just talked about what $2 or $5 could contribute, and our customers can contribute as many of those donations that they would like at our checkout starting on Sunday.
Wow. And they make it so easy to help out. Thanks so much to Giant Eagle.
Thanks very much, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now let's go back to the phone bank of Michael Bartley.
Okay, American Red Cross, International Response Fund. There's 3 ways in which to process that. PO Box.
History locally, because it's so rare to get competitors together working like this, not as competitors, but as partners.
And people don't realize that we're friends off the camera as well.
Right.
And this is unprecedented. We've never done anything like this before.
It's an unprecedented global catastrophe.
Yes.
And
we put this together
responses.
in 3 days because we wanted to do something to help, and we want to give you an opportunity to do something to help the tsunami victims. You've seen the devastation, the pictures.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking, isn't it? I'm sure everybody has a story that affects them. There was a mother of 4, and I'm a mother of 4. She was about my age. She clung to the top of a palm tree, Sheila, and her husband and children were just washed out to sea. How does that woman go on, you know?
Yeah, how does she? Exactly. And the only way she may go on is with our help tonight, and that's why it's so important to get these phones ringing. 1-888-786-2640.
And they are all busy. I'm looking over Sheldon's shoulder here. We've got Stephanie Brown from Braddock who called in a donation. Mildred McBride called in $100. That's nice. Ruth Marshall, $100. Annette, $50. James McAleer, is that right? From
And is there one
from Leechburg? Okay.
$50 donation.
A $50 donation. We'd love to hear that.
Here,
okay.
Peggy. Go ahead, tell us about it.
We just got a call from a woman who wishes to remain anonymous, but she's just pledged $500.
Isn't that wonderful?
Thank you so much for your pledge, Anonymous.
Pittsburghers are so generous. Let's find out how things are going elsewhere. David, how are things going over there with you?
Hi, thanks so much, Peggy. Boy, this is one noisy room, and we love it. I'm going to show you over here a couple of my favorite guys from the Pittsburgh Steelers, from the past and from the future. A pair of 78s, we like to call them, from the O-line and the D-line. That's Dwight White in the black uniform, Max Starks in the white uniform. They're on the phone right now, but I'm going to lean in and try to get to them here. Max is busy taking these phone calls, and Max, when you're off the phone, I'm going to hear what you've been getting. The phones have been non-stop. I think as soon as Michael Bartley spoke, the phone started ringing. And we love having the Steelers here. Obviously, that's just a great thing. And I'm going to look in here. $40 is given. There's another $25 pledge. It's hard to actually grab them on the phone here because they're talking so much, and it's wonderful. Max, I'm going to interrupt this call just for a second.
Definitely, Mr. Knight. Well, I appreciate you calling.
Tell Mr. Knight he's on TV right now. Max, tell me about the calls you've been getting.
Definitely. I mean, we've been getting a wide array of responses. A lot of people are pledging between about $250 to about $40, and everybody it seems very, very eager to donate and and try and help and assist in this tsunami relief.
By the way, Max, I have to get in. Go Gators. We went to the same school, University of Florida. Dwight White, the other 78 here. Dwight, what have you been hearing on the phone tonight?
Hearing the same type of calls. I mean, people are very enthusiastic. I've got a pledge of $100 down to $5. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how much, just get involved and give what you can.
All right. And, folks, call and talk to a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't know if you're going to find a bigger guy than Max, and he can take care of things tonight. Over now to Mike Clark, my colleague there at Channel 4. Mike.
This is an historic night of broadcasting here in Pittsburgh. I never thought a night like this could ever happen. Of course, so many talented people in the broadcasting industry here tonight at WQED to raise money for the tsunami victims. We're doing it all for the American Red Cross International Relief Effort. And joining me now from the Southwestern Pennsylvania chapter is Chief Executive Officer Tim Tassone and Marketing Director Jill Berardi. Are you amazed by this energy in this room?
I'm amazed and I'm not surprised. This is what Pittsburgh is all about. It's proven it time and time again.
David Johnson was just introducing Dwight White. I asked Dwight before, I said, Pittsburgh's not your home, but you certainly are calling Pittsburgh home. He said, that's right, for 33 years, and the outpouring of love in this community. They give so much to charities like the American Red Cross. That's a big reason why he stayed, and that's why he's here tonight. Talk to me about what the people are telling you. So far, you've raised $100,000 here in the Pittsburgh area. They're asking you questions such as, where is my money going to go? Can you tell us that?
Sure. What goes from people's contributions to the American Red Cross, which then is which then goes on to the International Federation of the Red Cross and the Red Crescent Society, and that is allowing people to get the aid and the support and the life support and saving materials that they need in each of the countries.
Specifically, the box you're holding, Jill, what's inside it?
Right. This is a hygiene kit, and when folks have lost everything to restore some of their dignity as well as necessities, this is just simple toiletries, toothbrush, toothpaste. Red Cross are purchasing these for those who need it, as well as tent kits for families of 5 to just set up quick shelter. It includes mosquito netting, lanterns, places to sleep at night. So.
Well, the people here will be answering phones. We're seeing some of the damaged area. They're saying that this might be the largest world relief effort of all time. And just looking at this devastation, knowing that Pittsburgh people can pick up the phone and call right now, 1-888-786-2640. You can buy for $80, for example, a hygiene kit that will help a family of 6 survive and get through this horrible time overseas. Jill and Tim, thank you very much. We'll be seeing you for the rest of the night here.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Pittsburgh.
Okay. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Pick up the phone and call 1-888-786-2640. Michael Bartley, over to you.
Remind everybody, and this is big time. You know about the IRS, the 2004 tax deductions. You can claim your donation tonight on your 2004 tax deduction. The IRS will apply the tsunami relief donations to your 2004 bill. These phones are just unbelievable. I'm going to sneak in here right now with Cindy McGrath from WPGH TV, and just tell me, you're off the phone just for a second, but it's still ringing. What are people saying? What's going on?
Oh, Mike, it's just been crazy tonight. I'll tell you what, in the last 15 minutes that we've been doing this, I've probably taken 8 to 10 phone calls myself. Everyone here has been busy constantly. $100 pledges, $50 pledges. One woman from the South Side said she and her father got together and $30 is what they had, and they wanted to pledge that tonight. People are really, really generous.
So it's become a family thing, and it's no surprise because when you look at the children's faces, the tsunami victims, that's really what you see. I think that's what people are thinking about tonight.
Well, I think it is, Michael. I think people are really touched by this. They've been seeing the video on everybody's air for the last 10 days, 2 weeks, and I think it really is touching them.
Okay, Cindy McGrath, one of the great reporters here in the marketplace tonight from every station in town. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, please call 1-888-786-2640. Now let's go over to Ken Rice and Chris Moore.
Okay. 20013.
give us a call right now. Now, Ken, I have to tell you that we've just received news of a great donation from Westinghouse Electric Corporation in the amount of $50,000, and that's just how good the corporations are in Pittsburgh.
Something special is happening here tonight because so many of you are calling in on an individual basis, and so many members of Pittsburgh's corporate community are kicking in as well. This one I have to read because I got to get it right. It's my own company. Yes. Viacom with a $1 million pledge, $500,000 up front, and then an additional $500,000 in matching funds. And a lot of other things going on that we may not know about here in America, but Viacom has operations in Asia. Just one example, the upcoming MTV Asia Awards. They have their own Asian version. It was supposed to be just the typical MTV award night. They've changed it, airing from Bangkok. It's going to be a global relief night. All the proceeds from that are aimed at helping these tsunami victims. So pitching in far and wide.
That's a super thing to do, and you can help right now, too. We hope that you'll go to your phone and give us a call, toll-free at 1-888-786-2640. That's the thing to do. Let's show them how much Pittsburgh cares, okay?
And let's head over to the phones right now, over to our colleague, Katie Cesny. Katie.
You know, and I don't know if all this activity is translating to you at home, but they literally cannot put down the phone without it ringing again. It is nonstop up here. It's an unbelievable show of support from the people in the Pittsburgh area. Just such generous amounts of money being given, and it doesn't even matter how much it is. From the smallest dollar amount to the largest dollar amount, it all makes an important difference. I'm going to cut in on Tricia Pittman here from Channel 11, who is in the middle of a call taking a donation right here to find out what's going on and what kind of calls she's been getting. Tricia, kind of tell us about who's been calling and what kind of monetary donations we've been getting.
The lady that I just spoke with was moved to tears because she told me she has 2 children of her own. She can't imagine seeing that type of loss experience with her own family, and she could only donate $10, but she felt that that was necessary because she just wanted to help, and any amount to be able to help is so very important. We're seeing people that can donate $10, $50, just any amount. It's amazing how giving these people are.
Thank you, Tricia. And in many respects, we have a lot of large donations. We have small donations as well. We want to thank some of those large givers, all of the companies who have supported us. Our satellite services provided tonight by Pittsburgh International Telecommunications. Vitech is giving us our live closed captioning. Fox Sports of Pittsburgh is providing the fiber link. It takes all these people to put this together, all these people contributing, the large donations and the small alike, really making a huge difference tonight. Sally?
All right, thanks very much, Katie. We're going to go to the total right now. On the bottom of your screen, it's not on the bottom, it's just emblazoned across it. Can you believe that? $125,000 over that. There is so much energy in this room, and talking about energy, we want to thank the energy that came from Carolyn and Glenn Dean of Homewood here in Pittsburgh, donating $450. There are so many stories that we've all seen in watching the news reports. In fact, there was one that was heartbreaking. A man in Sumatra, in Banda Aceh, the hardest hit place in the whole tsunami area, who survived the waves but was trapped in the debris around his home. He called out and called out for 3 days, but because everybody else was looking for their missing loved ones, no one could help him, and he died. Well, we have a choice to help the people who have survived this and help them get over this, although it may take years. All you have to do is call 1-888-786-2640. The telethon will go on after we go off the air at 8 p.m., so you can still call, and if you can't make the donation right now, you can make it on later on this evening. Now, Peggy has some really special people over in another part of the studio. Peggy?
I do, Sally. I think one of the most touching things in the wake of this disaster is how young people, how schools, how there's been this grassroots effort. And I want to introduce you now to some people from St. Malachy School in Coraopolis. We have the principal, who is Dr. Bruno Rosso, and we have Hannah Chamberlain, and we have Kirsten Kreitzer, who are both 4th graders. And Doctor, you kissed a pig, I understand, to raise some money. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy and silly, but the thought behind it was very generous. Tell me about that.
Yes, it was. A couple months ago, we had a challenge with the students that if they would raise $2,000, that I would end up kissing a pig. And so we had, being a Catholic school, there's many organizations that are always asking for money, and so we thought this would be a good opportunity to have the people donate, the kids and so forth. And we did meet our goal, And at the end of it, we added the Tsunami group to be part of that. So we're going to split $2,000 into about 5 or 6 different charities. And it all came from the kids and their families, and they are very proud of themselves. So
tell me what the kids have been saying to you. How do kids react? And I don't mean about kissing the pig, but how do kids react when they see those images on television? Are your kids concerned about what's happening over there in Asia?
I'm sure, speaking to some of the kids that are older, we go to 8th grade, and some of them are able to comprehend what is taking place. They are very concerned. And when I had said to them that part of this money would go to the Tsunami group, they were very excited about it and very pleased to be able to help in a small way that we are doing that.
Hannah and Kirsten, tell me here, what did you think when you saw your principal kissing a pig?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too.
Yeah, well, actually, there it is. So our viewers can judge for themselves. It is pretty funny, but boy, it was a great fundraiser, and that's the kind of thing that inspires a lot of people. Let's go over to Michael Bartley now. Michael.
Pittsburgh responds in a big way. Peggy, thanks so much. We're going to do a total here. David, you reminded me of it, so come on, let's pal up here. We'll do a big total.
You
here,
don't see this every day.
QED, PXI, and everybody else in town.
Great to be with you.
$135,000, 680. Oh my! Is that amazing?
That is,
and
we've
we're
been
on
on
the
the
air,
air
what,
22
20 minutes?
minutes.
That is just extraordinary, and this is an all-important thing. I announced this before, but I want to do it one more time. You can claim the donation tonight on your 2004 taxes. Isn't that big time?
You can't beat it.
See, the IRS.gov, check for all the information on that.
Yeah.
All right?
Excellent.
Indeed.
All right,
David,
Michael,
thank
take
you.
it away, sir.
I'm going to sneak over here, interview one of our own. Carol, I'm doing circles here on the set. Tell us exactly the kind of phone calls you're taking tonight.
Well, I have to tell you, they're mostly women. The women are stepping up in Pittsburgh. That's a challenge to the guys to start calling us. It is a challenge. And we're getting a lot of phone calls with $100, and that's quite a bit to part with.
They're really sizable donations. What exactly are they saying? Because it seems just about everybody has been affected by this.
They want to do anything they can. And, you know, Pittsburgh does respond because we are used to having our own disasters here. And we know when you go through it, you're the first one there to help the next person.
Carol Espy from On Q joins all the other television stations here tonight and so many volunteers here at our WQED studios here in Oakland. And for now, let's go over to Patrice King Brown. Patrice.
Hi, thanks very much, Michael. You know, it has been an interesting thing that over $4 billion has already been pledged by the international community, and that number is, of course, expected to grow. Events like this around the country, this being unique, of course, to the city of Pittsburgh, are making a difference, and you are making a difference. So if you can call 1-888-786-2640, that can make an absolute difference. We want to find out from Shannon, what kind of response are you getting?
You know, it's nice. We get calls from people who are just giving $25 or $50. I got a call for $500. So everything counts. What you're hearing from people is that they're really ready to do this right away because they know it's going to help right now.
Make a big difference.
Right.
Okay, thanks very much, Shannon. Let's go. I wanted to talk with Sheldon a minute, but he's been busy with people too. What kind of response are you getting?
Oh, this is great. Phone calls are coming in. Hey, Martha, can you see yourself on TV? You see me talking to you, right? Okay, good deal. The phone calls are coming in like 5-second intervals. As soon as I'm done with this phone call with Martha, the next call will come in about 5 seconds.
It's very impressive. People
calling in.
People making a difference. Tonya?
I'm on the phone right now with Melissa from Munhall, and she just pledged $25, and she's sending a check. And I just can't tell you, the phones, you hang up, you think you're going to regroup and, you know, tally up and send things off to the right people. You can't because the phones just keep ringing.
Someone's right there. You are making a difference, Pittsburgh. You're absolutely making a difference. Let's go back to David.
Actually, we're going over to Peggy Finnegan and Chris Moore. What a pleasure it is to work with you, sir.
It is a pleasure after all these years of watching you and admiring.
Oh, what a great effort.
Home here.
I love your humble home here, and we're doing some great work here tonight. I'm looking over the shoulders of some of these folks who have volunteered to take our donations. And Vince Sims, let's see, he's got 50, 50 and 25. He's got a Luann on the phone right now.
And
I'm
Lena
eavesdropping.
has given $25.
From Menneson.
Luann from Menneson. She's
Thank
on
you,
the phone
Luann.
right now. So people are really opening up here in Pittsburgh, but you knew this would happen, didn't you?
Pittsburgh
you know
is
the people of
known
Pittsburgh.
for its generosity.
Absolutely.
It really is. And you know, so often people want to help, but when there's a disaster of this scope and magnitude, you think, how can I possibly help? Where can I start? Well, Pittsburgh is responding. We're giving you a place to start. The American Red Cross is going to put your donation to good use. So please give us a call here, 888-786-2640.
Go to your phones right now. We're going to check on some more numbers, but let's go over to your colleague right now from Channel 11.
Okay.
David?
Dave?
You're one of my colleagues too, Chris. Always a brother in broadcasting. We want to give you another total right now to see how you're doing, Pittsburgh, and we have really added to it. Great job, everyone. $160,165. We're only 26 minutes into this. Excellent, Pittsburgh. As always, you come through. I want to make a quick point about a couple of phone calls we've gotten from folks affected by the local floods. And they've said, what about us? The American Red Cross has been helping the flood victims in western Pennsylvania since the September 17th floods from Hurricane Ivan, continues to help them out, but we are here tonight for another purpose. You've been watching the reports on television. You see how devastating the damage is over there, and we're not talking about losing maybe some furniture or even your home. We're talking about everyone in your family, entire cities and towns wiped out, city centers flattened, devastation beyond what you can even imagine. 150, 160,000 people killed. So I think you understand why we need to go to the phones right now. We accept the following, as you see right there: Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Diners Club, Discover, a personal check or a money order. Any of it, all of it is welcome. As much as you can afford, everyone, as much as you can afford, but whatever you can, know that it makes a difference. We're so happy you're with us. It's amazing to be in the studio with all of my superstar friends, and one of them right now is Sheila Hyland with a check. Sheila, take it away.
David, you are right. Pittsburghers are so incredibly generous. We do appreciate your phone calls, your pledges. 1-888-786-2640 is the number to call so that you can make a difference in the lives of these tsunami victims. Now, before we get to our special guest here, Katie and I, we want to thank some of these companies. Penn Telecom for providing our phone service, and Bocelli's Pizza for feeding all of our volunteers. We love the pizza.
Part.
It was very, very good. And now we have a special man we'd like to introduce to you. He is the GM of our television station, Fox 53 and WB22, and he's also representative, of course, of Sinclair Broadcast, the owner of Fox 53 and WB22. And you have something very special to tell us
Sheila
today.
and Katie, I'd like to begin by thanking channels 2, 4, 11, WQED, and my very own WPGH, Fox 53, for putting this wonderful show together. And on behalf of Sinclair Broadcast Group, which owns WPGH, I'd like to present the American Red Cross with a check for $25,000.
Wow.
And good luck, and I hope everyone will participate tonight and contribute to this wonderful cause.
Now, this is $25,000, Alan, but I understand this can be so much more. Tell us how that can work.
Well, our 3,300 employees will be contributing, and Sinclair will match an additional up to an additional $25,000. So that brings our grand total to $75,000.
All right.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Sinclair Broadcast.
Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful? That will really help the cause. Thank you, Alan Frank.
And it's not just these big contributions, as we said. It's the small ones that make a difference, too. It's the $5, $10, all these things adding up to really make a difference for hundreds of thousands of people in Asia and in South Africa. So please call, donate whatever you can. Again, that number, 1-888-786-2640. We're going to throw it back now to Peggy and Patrice.
All right, Peggy Finnegan here with Patrice King-Brown, a pairing you will rarely see on Pittsburgh television, but we're working together tonight and having a lot of fun doing it.
It's a pleasure being with you again,
Isn't it a
Peggy?
heartening thing that so many Pittsburghers call in, Patrice?
But you know, you're not surprised by this
No, I'm
because
not.
you know how much Pittsburghers, how giving this city is, even in times when the city is having its own difficulties. I mean, we've got such a variety of donations. We have from Scottdale Elementary School in Southmoreland School District, look at this, $460 from the kids there. And then from Dawn in California, PA, $50. Every little bit makes a difference.
It absolutely does. And for people who want to know, let's see, we have raised so far $195,289, and we still have a long way to go. We do hope that you'll join us as Pittsburgh responds to this terrible global crisis. What, 12 countries affected,
150,000 people. It really is unfathomable. It really is unfathomable. But you can pick up the phone, folks. Make a difference. Call 1-888-786-2640 to make your contribution with the number of the size of this catastrophe. Everything will make a difference, and everything is needed.
Absolutely. And with the way that our world, Patrice, right now is so splintered with, war and hatred, and, it's really a lovely thing to see this international humanitarian response. And our viewers could be a part of this if you'll just give us a call. Let's go over to David Johnson now, who has a guest. David?
Thank you so much, Peggy. We're here with Dr. Ravi Baloo, who's been in Pittsburgh for 14 years now, but originally from Madras, one of the cities devastated, of course, by the tsunami, and your family is still over there. Please tell me they're all right.
They're fine. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. When this happened, what was it, 12 days ago now, what went through your mind? You just had to have been terrified.
Yes, actually, we were on the West Coast, and we saw the effects. We were just vacationing there for the holidays, and we couldn't believe the tragedy that was occurring as we were hearing on the TV. And at first, it was a lot less, and more every day that went by, more and more victims were affected. So it was just one thing after another.
It's really hard to imagine, isn't it? I mean, obviously you've been over there in the past, and beautiful, beautiful beaches. You just do not imagine that type of destructive force can come through, and the results are just so heart-wrenching. It's hard to take sometimes to watch it on TV. Yes. But you're here tonight to help out and to help convince people and urge people that what would you say to people right now to get them to get to the phones and call?
Sure. Not only in India, but Thailand, the Indonesia and Sri Lanka, so many people have been affected, and we need all the help that we can get. A lot of the people that were affected were the poor people, were the fishermen, and basically they lost everything, their boats, their fishing skills, and their housing. In India, it takes only $40 to put a family back in a shelter. Each house that they are putting them together is cost $40 to put together. So any kind of help will get them back on their feet.
Yeah, if you somehow survived it over there, and we're looking at pictures of the devastation right now on Channel 11 and all of the channels actually, is that not only did people lose family, you talk about everything. Yes. Literally everything in their lives is wiped out.
Yes. Yes.
And so in the aid from the aid workers and the volunteers over there now and all the organizations, and especially the American Red Cross, say it must be nonstop. It must keep going, and that's why it's so important for people to go to the phones right now, isn't it?
Exactly. We request everybody to please go. And it's only in a short-term help and a long-term as far as adopting a village or adopting an area to develop that area back. It's going to be a long range of effort. We need everybody's help on that.
Dr. Ravi Baloo, who's been a long-time Pittsburgh resident now, but obviously has many, many ties to the devastated region. We thank you very much for being with us, and we wish all the best to your family over there, all right? Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, first-hand knowledge of what's going on. You just have to keep it up, Pittsburgh. We can't say it enough times. And one of my good friends, Mike Clark, is over there at the phones where it is still noisy. That's good to hear, Mike.
It's great to hear, David, and I'm over here at the phone back with some breaking news information. I just have been told that it's all because of you. Your response has been so great. The phone lines are jammed here at WQED. I'm going to interrupt my colleague Shannon Perrine on the phone. She has some advice for you. Don't give up. Keep on dialing the number you see on your screen, 1-888-786-2640. But what are you experiencing down here?
This is great. First of all, I just want to let people know really quick, when you do call in, it makes sense to have a pen and paper ready real quick because you're going to have to write some information down. But I want to tell you the story about the woman I have on the phone right now. She told me that her 11-year-old son, Mitchell, they're from Bethel Park, is pledging $25 of his Christmas money. He's 11 years old. He really wanted to do something, and the mom is matching that. So together as a family, they're giving $50.
It really captures the spirit of the season. Thank you very much, Shannon. You listen to Shannon. Bring a pen with you when you go to the phone and call the number on your screen. You're going to need it to copy down numbers. Right now, because of your generosity, we've raised $266,500 $595. We just received a $1,000 pledge from Josephine Kuhn. Thank you, Josephine. And $100 from Thomas in Oakland. You know, looking at Shannon, looking at all our competitors on the street that we broadcast the news here in Pittsburgh, I'm struck by this fact that here we are at WQED, a place where Fred Rogers for so many years reached out through the television in this studio and helped to heal so many children and families. And here we are tonight doing the very same thing, using this remarkable industry to ask you, from the bottom of our hearts, to pledge what you can. The number is on your screen, 1-888-786-2640. Just to give you an example of what the money is going to, where the money is going to go to. In Sri Lanka alone, they lost 1,000 wells. The salt water has seeped into those wells that you can't use them. All the pumps that need to be bought first and then brought over there to pump out all the water. We need your help, Pittsburgh. What does your money buy? $2 will buy a sleeping bag. So many children lost their parents and are in shelters now. $5 for a mosquito net. $15 for a kitchen set for a family of 5. And $175 goes for a waterproof tent. I'm going to send it over to my friend Patrice King-Brown right now with some more information. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Patrice?
Thank you very much, Mike. You know, I think it's hard for most of us to even get our minds around a catastrophe of this size. This all happened, of course, while most of America was celebrating our holiday season. And to think about what was going on half a world away that has destroyed so many lives, cities completely wiped out, everything that people own gone, their entire lives. And I know that it's completely different culture, completely different values on some levels, but there is always concern about the human interest and about humankind and what can be done. You can make a difference half a world away tonight. If you pick up the phone and you call 1-888-786-2640, you can help people for the rest of their lives, help them reestablish something that could be of value in their lives. It can make such a huge difference. And that's what we are asking you to do tonight. And if you're calling and the phones are busy, and they are busy, and we thank you so much, Pittsburgh, for that, we're going to ask you to continue to call because it will make a difference in the lives of so many across the world and in our human community. 1-888-786-2640. You here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and all the surrounding areas can change the life of a child, can change the life of a family, clear across the world. And you know, when we count our blessings, and I think we know that in this country we are so very, very fortunate and have so many blessings, that the opportunity to share, as they always say, what goes around comes around. Make a difference in the lives of folks all across the world. 1-888-786-2640 is the number to call. We have many people here volunteering their time. What kind of calls have you been getting tonight?
Quite a few phone calls, and people have been very responsive, and it's very heartening to know that it has touched the lives of everybody, and people are very generous with their contributions.
All different denominations, all different donations?
Yes, ranging from $25 to $500. Thank you.
Well, see, you can make a difference. Again, 1-888-786-2640. And now let's go back to my friend Sheila and Sally.
All right, thanks very much, Patricia. Now, it's such a cliche, but it really isn't. The silver lining in tragedies like these is that it brings people together. It's heartwarming to see how people are working to help other people. It really does brings you into community and brings you back together with old friends.
Yes, Sally and I go way back, about 16 years or so.
We certainly do, and you have some really important information.
I do. Sally, the Mannheim Corporation just called to pledge $50,000 to our effort. Thank you so much. Can you imagine how much food and medicine and supplies that will provide to
and water?
And look at our total now. We're up to $283,353. Pittsburgh Mannheim Corporation, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really, truly do.
And we want to thank the volunteers on this phone bank, many of whom have familiar faces to you.
Yes. Vince Sims, for instance, you might recognize him from WPXI, and he's on the phone right now, but as we always do, we're going to politely interrupt him because he has got some terrific pledges. Vince, can we interrupt you for a second? Say, we're going to put you on hold.
Okay, Jerry, thank you very much.
All right, have a good evening.
Thanks, Jerry.
Jerry just called. He and his wife were going to go out to dinner this evening. They decided to change those plans and donate instead. They donated $50. That's Jerry from Kennedy Township.
Oh, thank you, Jerry
one
from
thing.
Kennedy Township.
We had Bob from Allison Park. He donated $100. Charlotte, $25. Margaret from Scott Township, $100. So people are really changing their plans and making a difference here.
I am seeing a big smile on your face. This must be making you feel good.
It is. When somebody tells me that they were going out to dinner and instead of going to dinner, they wanted to take that money and donate it to help victims like this, that's special. And when we get that opportunity to help people out and be the link and makes this happen, it just feels good.
Maybe it'll spur on some of our other viewers to do the same as well.
To them.
You know what? It does. It gives you goosebumps. And somebody who's helping to take those. We're gonna put Kelly Alexia from Channel 2, morning anchor. What is it like? What are you hearing from people, and what kind of donations are you getting?
Well, these people are very generous, and what's really funny, it's kind of ironic and heartwarming all at the same time, is these people are thanking me. Thanks so much and they're telling me to thank everybody here. I want to say thanks to them. This is a wonderful night, and it's so special, and these people are so generous, and every dollar helps so much, and these people realize that.
I mean, they're doing the work.
They are.
Although you are too, dear.
Well, thanks, but this is just a wonderful evening for all of us to somehow try to help, and to hear these people talk to us. They're so excited, and they're just happy they could do even something small.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to talk to another old friend here. Can you tell him to hold on just a second? Michael's gonna be on TV, sort of.
Okay.
Hi, Michael. Mary Rob Jackson from Channel 2.
Hi there. This night is just so amazing. I can't answer this phone fast enough. Michael, God bless him, just made a pledge for $500. Where are you from, Michael? Okay, keep holding on there. He's from Mount Lebanon, and it is just so amazing. Everybody wants to be part of this evening, and talk about good neighbors. Mr. Rogers, put all these great vibes in here, and I have never talked to so many good neighbors tonight.
Western Pennsylvania, bless you. Here's Chris right now.
Three of my favorite reporters and anchors back there in the back just chatting it up, ready for you to call at 1-888-786-2640. This is Pittsburgh Responds, and we are responding in great fashion. As I look around here at some of the people, we've got some of our great educational institutions. I've seen T-shirts from Duquesne University, Robert Morris, Community College of Allegheny County, LaRoche College. The universities are coming together. Look, Aline from the north side has even donated $50. All of these people, Sheldon Ingram, everybody is here taking your calls. An unprecedented effort, Pittsburgh, where all the TV stations have come together, gathered here in WQED studios, and are appealing to you, some of the most generous people in the whole wide world, right here in Pittsburgh. 1-888-786-2640 is the number to call. Let's go over to Ken Rice and see what else is going on. Call us right now. Ken?
Actually, Chris, thanks so much. We're coming over here.
Yes,
Hi, Peggy.
we made a little mini cameo appearance,
yes,
I
we
believe,
did.
on
Indeed,
Chris Moore's pitch there.
And we've been asked to tell you that if you get a busy signal, because our phones, luckily, and no surprise, they are ringing absolutely off the hook. So if you get a busy signal, please don't give up. Just try again. It's so great to be with you again.
Thank you. It's
Peggy
a
and I have the
pleasure to
same
work
alma mater.
together. We do,
Exactly,
Marquette
yeah.
University in
Indeed.
Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
But he's much older. Just kidding. We are so excited to be
We are
here, aren't
indeed.
we? And the neatest thing about it is those phones are ringing like crazy.
Pittsburgh is responding like crazy, and don't forget, you can use the deduction for your 04 taxes as well. But you and I were...
Isn't that exciting? Congress approved
That's
that
right.
as an encouragement, and the president is expected to sign that legislation.
That's right. And you and I were talking about so many of the people who called in here tonight were talking about the faces of the children of the tsunami. And we were talking about that, in particular, that story, and I think it was in the Post-Gazette, of this Indonesian man. When the water came in, he grabbed his 1-year-old son. And they were so high up that he thought he was okay, because as the water receded, he held his young son, if you remember. And he went down, and a boat had collapsed. The tsunami damaged a boat. And as you remember, a very sharp edge was jetted out as the water receded, and the edge hit his back. It was the saddest thing.
Caused his arms to
open up. and his son was swept out to sea. Those are the kind of stories, I think, that really resonated with Pittsburgh as they respond tonight.
And there is just one after another after another.
One example.
Right. And one of the things I think that is most striking about this disaster is generally in a disaster, you know, you would find a lot of orphans, and there certainly are a lot of orphans. But in this disaster, the weakest were swept away, and now there are a lot of parents who are left without their children and just left in grief.
And
so
they need help.
much
And
sadness.
speaking of which,
yes,
Lila Krause is here.
Yes, Lila Krause from PNC Bank. The corporate community has just been amazing. Lila, tell us what PNC Bank has done.
Well, first of all, we
Lila, you have
are...
your own microphone here. There you go.
Thank you very much. You know, I was listening to the story you just told, and that's the heart of the matter, isn't it? That when you listen to it and you see those pictures, and you imagine just for a minute what it might be like to lose your family or your loved ones or your children, you can't, and you want to respond. And so PNC has a history of response like so many other companies here in Pittsburgh. We have, through the PNC Foundation, are donating $25,000 tonight to the relief effort.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're pleased. But our employees who are of the community really wanted to know right away, what could they do? What are we going to do? And so PNC has agreed to match dollar for dollar any individual contribution of any of its almost 24,000 employees
Can you imagine
to the relief
that's going to add
efforts.
up to be? That's really terrific.
And then for our customers, we are prepared to accept deposits at our branches so they too can have an easy way of donating to these relief efforts.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
We are very excited, and I really do want to thank you and all of the stations for this is unprecedented, and it really does
really
show
is unprecedented.
what
It shows
Pittsburgh
what
can do.
That's right. It shows when you come together what can happen. No surprise here in Pittsburgh as they respond tonight. Okay, let's go over to David. Thank you so much, Lila.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks so much. We're going to do a drum roll for you in your minds anyway, and a total to see where we are right now, and it is moving up so nicely. That deserves some big applause. Pittsburgh, great job. Keep it coming, though. Now, with about 12 minutes left before we leave the air, $337,000 plus. But know this, the phones are answered, not just by these generous people back here who are donating their time, but there are literally hundreds back behind the wall over WTAE. We have more volunteers, and they will be answering the phones until 11:35 tonight. And remember this as well, that if you get a busy signal, keep trying. Do not give up. There's so many of your friends and neighbors and family members are calling right now. Don't let that stop you. $500. Thank you so much from Susan and Bob of Harmony, PA. Every dollar counts, and that's a lot of money right there. $1,200 from Industrial Chemical. Fantastic. The companies, if we could read every name of everybody who's calling back here, believe me, we'd do it. We are proud of you. You should be proud of yourselves. Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, you always come through. And what you've seen on the news the past nearly 2 weeks has moved you, as it has moved all of us. It is disaster beyond our imagining, and we need your money, and we need to keep it rolling. Everybody over there says it cannot stop. So, folks, even though the line's busy, keep calling. And we're going to hear now from a very good friend of mine, and might I say a very talented man, Ken Rice. Ken, take it away, sir.
David, you are too kind. Thank you very much. I'm over here with Raghu Pathy. He's from Murraysville, one of the leaders of the Hindu temple in Penn Hills, but also just a guy with family in India as well. Tell me about last Sunday when you first heard about the scope of the devastation there and your attempts to get a hold of your relatives.
Yeah, as soon as I heard this on the TV, I tried to contact to find out if my wife's brother, my brother-in-law and his family were doing okay. We couldn't get through right away because the lines were so busy or they were out of order, I didn't know. But after a couple of hours, we did get hold of them, and they mentioned that they were all safe, but a lot of people were affected in that area. This is Chennai, which is formerly known as Madras, and they live just about a mile away from the sea. And my brother-in-law did tell me that a lot of sand has been washed away, and there's a lot of debris and a lot of dirt along the beach, once a beautiful beach. And also one of his friends and his son, they were probably taking a walk or jogging, I don't know. They were affected and they were washed into the sea by the tsunami waves.
Did you get firsthand accounts from him of what it looked like there, and any indication from him as to when life would return to anything like it was before this disaster?
He was telling me that it's going to be quite a while, especially down south from where he is, which were the couple of cities very badly affected. They lost about 3,000 to 4,000 people there. Poor people, fishermen, they lost their homes. There are a lot of orphans. And it looks like, in addition to the short-term relief effort, it's going to take probably about a couple of years to rehabilitate these people, including building schools, hospitals, shelters for them to live, and take care of especially the young kids.
Yeah.
A lot of young kids lost their parents, and those are some of the areas that need to be, people need to focus their attention to.
What we're doing tonight, just a small piece of really a huge worldwide effort to get help in. Do they have a sense there of what's going on around the world and how this has captivated the world's attention and it's grabbed the world's compassion?
Yes, they are very much aware because there are major networks from this country like CNN, Asia. They watch the news and they get local news through newspapers, and they're also up to date on all the efforts that's going on throughout the country, in India especially. And in India, many of the local people throughout the country have donated so much. India has collected probably from donations to the tune of $200 million, just from individuals, in addition to the government contribution. And the Indian government is also helping people in Sri Lanka. India was one of the first countries to send their military and their helicopters and all to help, and they are very much involved in the relief efforts.
Raghu, thank you very much. Best to you and your
Ken.
family.
Thank you for this effort.
All
okay?
right. Nice to speak with you. Let's send it over now to Patrice King-Brown and Katie Sesnick.
Thanks very much, Ken. We want to let people know we are not surprised by the total. Thank you so much for your donations. Continue to call. We do have a total for you. Let's take a look at the number.
Wow.
Look at that. How about that, Katie? Isn't that wonderful? $365,732 from Pittsburghers in just a few minutes, actually. It's less than an hour. And keep calling. We want to hear from you. 1-888-786-2640.
And we know why they're calling. It's because of donations like the few that you're holding in your hand here, Patrice.
That's right. How about this one? The Hendrickson family of Mount Lebanon. And I believe, actually, if this is the family, I think they're very special people. They make a wonderful $500 donation.
Wow, unbelievable.
How about this one?
A $1,000 donation from Allegheny Petroleum Products Company. That's in Wilmerding. That's an amazing contribution. All of these are wonderful. When you get a $500 contribution, when you get a $1,000 contribution, it really makes a huge difference. But it's not just those contributions. It's also the $5 contributions, the $10 contributions. And if that's all you have, that's okay, because that is really special and it even means more. I think when you can give $5 or $10, it means that much more because you don't have that much to give.
Well, you know, you had Shannon here before you get to her. The people were talking about the denominations of these donations. That many of us have done telethons over the years and not seen money coming in this amount.
Right, and I'm going to interrupt Shannon rather here from Channel 4, who's in the middle of taking a donation. Shannon, you have had some wonderful stories tonight. Any new ones to share with us?
I just got a call a couple of minutes ago. By the way, my hand is sore from it. That's a good problem to have.
She hasn't taken a breath in the past 45 minutes.
I'm having carpal tunnel syndrome. No, it's great. It's a great problem to have. But no, I just got a call from a woman. I talked to her son on the phone. He's a little kid. It sounded like maybe he was 5, 6 years old. He wanted to donate $11, and his mom kicked in another few dollars and made it $30. So it was really nice to get those heartwarming phone calls from people, from children who are responding to this tragedy.
We're getting a call from a lot of children who I think are probably relating to children that have been affected by this.
Absolutely, Kate. Let's find out. I guess Sheldon's still working at something. Let's find out one from Trish. Trish, before you pick up.
The phone is just ringing off the hook. It's amazing. So many people calling in, and I've had people that are moved to tears. They say that, how can you not want to help? It's just amazing how Pittsburgh is responding.
It makes a big difference.
Great. We're going to send it down to Sally and Mike.
All right, thank you very much, Patrice and Katie. We are inching our way toward $400,000 because of your generosity. 53 minutes we've been here. Now, at our each individual stations, we do telethons to raise money for different charitable events. Never before in Pittsburgh history have we all come together under one umbrella here at WQED. Sally, you've been here for 25 years. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, never seen anything like this. And Sheila Highland and I were talking. We've never seen the numbers on each donation. It doesn't mean that $20 isn't so important, or $5 for that matter, but everybody's getting like $250, $500, $1,000. The outpouring is unprecedented. We've mentioned that word so many times this evening, but it actually applies.
And you know, so many college students are here from the various Pittsburgh area colleges, and to lose 50,000 children's lives in South Asia is extraordinary. And to see the young people in Pittsburgh come out and volunteer tonight is heartwarming.
And so much of this is about the children, and Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania understands that.
All right, right now we're going to go over to Michael Bartley. Michael?
Hey, Michael, look at this, man. What a night, what a night. Right here in WQED studios, unprecedented. Every anchor from every station, every reporter out here. People in Pittsburgh have really come together.
And to no surprise, this is the most buzz this studio has had, I think, since I've been here 6 years ago. And I must tell you that, you know, Chris, when you think about this, it comes as no surprise that Pittsburgh responds no matter what the tragedy, whether it's local, national, or international. No question. As we take a look at Max Starks, a picture of him. He's been answering the phone for an hour solid.
What
Max
a big guy. He didn't look that big on the field.
He has a size 19 shoe. Maybe you'll get one if you call in and get him. He'll autograph it for you. They're big boats, but you know, the Steelers and just about everybody in town. We have 2 rooms of phone banks. There are phone banks over at WTAE, and the phones have not stopped since we went on the air at 7 o'clock.
We've had some great people come out from some of our institutions of higher education. Robert Morris University is here, Duquesne University, LaRoche College. I've seen all sorts of sweatshirts and T-shirts. It is a total effort where people have come together. Now, we need to remind folks that the phones are going to be on until 11:35 tonight. 1-888-786-2640. We'd like to get all the anchors out here together. We're going to sing a chorus of "Where You Are the World" or something like that. Is that it?
David's going to begin us here.
Here's the total. Look at the number so far.
Wow.
Give yourselves a big round of applause.
Amazing.
$377,857. Again, we remind you, the phones are going to be open all night long. Now, all of you anchors, I've got one question. What's it like to work without the prompter, huh?
You know what? When you're with people, when you're with pros like this, it's a cinch.
You don't need prompter. We don't need no stinking prompter, right?
We've got it.
That's for 10 o'clock tonight when you have to go back. Now, most of these folks have to go back to work, Michael. They've got to go back and do their jobs at their other stations. We want to thank. We want to thank everybody.
Well,
No.
Thanks for giving us a lead story tonight.
We want to thank everyone who participated tonight.
thank you.
WPXI, WTAE, WPGH, KDKA, and of course
WQED Pittsburgh.
And the American Red Cross. Thank all the volunteers and
all of
especially
them.
all of you for your generosity here.
On